Hello my friends, just a few things before the video starts. Sorry it's late. I know it's about a day late. I had some rendering issues. I really need a PC upgrade. So sorry about that. Another thing I want to say is if you want to skip ahead to any point, just look in the time bar and you can skip the chapter you want. And also I originally intended for this all to be in one video, but it ended up being too long. So I'm talking as if it's all going to be in one video at certain parts during this, but really it's a two-part video and the second part will be uploaded within 24 hours of me uploading this. So you'll get the conclusion soon. And also I just wanted to say that I know not everyone watches the videos the whole way through. Just know that everything I say is pretty much speculation. I don't believe in any one theory or idea I touch upon. They're all just sort of theories I hold, and ultimately I'm agnostic on all of this. I don't really think that the answer to any of these questions is something that we can comprehend. It's probably way beyond our comprehension. So that's where I stand on that. And other than that, just I hope you enjoy the video, and I appreciate all of you. I love you very much, and look out for the part 2 of this in about a day, like I said. Okay, cheers.
Hello, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about simulation theory and a couple of DMT trips that I had that revolved around simulation theory. They were sort of glitchy, computerized themed trips, and I know some of you know what I'm talking about. Some people get trips like that, others don't really seem to so much. I get a lot of trips like that, and usually when I get trips like those, they are not the greatest trips. Sometimes they're like bad trips or confusing trips. Sometimes they're cool, but usually not so much. And these two that I'm going to talk about were very interesting, and they weren't necessarily bad. One was confusing and one was really interesting actually. One happened on stream, and we're going to look over the footage. The first one, the audio was kind of fucked up, so I'm just going to go over it with you. And I heard, some of you were wanting to see it anyways, and so it'll be fine. I can just talk over it and explain what was happening, because I couldn't explain it at the time anyways. I still can't now, but in hindsight I think it'll be better just going over it rather than trying to explain it on the spot, which I was unable to do. Before we get into all that, I just want to welcome all my new subscribers and thank all my subscribers, my Discord community. Thank everyone for your support, for joining me and watching my videos, and to my Discord mods and just everyone who's been helping out and just offering to help me with things. It's awesome. You guys have been so cool. I appreciate all of you. I love you so much. We're at 8,500. I just hit 8,000. It seems like yesterday. There's been a big influx of subscribers again, and so it's just awesome. I'm loving it. Thank you all. And so this video is going to be it's going to talk about those two trips, but it's going to talk about simulation theory in general. I know a lot of you have been wanting me to go in depth about what I think about it and its merits, if I like it, if I believe in it, if I think it's bullshit, and all that. And so we're just going to cover it all in this all-encompassing, sweeping video. So let's dive right into it. My mustache is freshly waxed, but I've been using this stuff. It's just garbage. If it's too cold, which I live in Canada, in the winter, my bathroom in the morning, it's fucking cold. And this shit just crumbles. It crumbles. Anyways, it doesn't hold well. By the end of the video, it's already fucking drooping. There, see, it's up now for 5 seconds. It's already drooping. I'll just keep adding more, I guess, till it's stiff as a fucking paperclip. Okay, I got my Turbo Silence Extreme on for extreme silence and cooling at the same time. Extreme silence, it's almost an oxymoron. If you're new around here, that's the name of my fan, the Rowenta Turbo Silence Extreme! Okay, where is the video file? Oh yeah, it's right here. Alright, here we go. So I apologize for the audio quality in this, but it was recorded with my camera. I don't think I had my mic on. Classic junk bond trader. Okay, so this trip got fucky. It got very fucky. It doesn't seem like I took that much, but the pen was hitting hard. Maybe I overheated it because the pen was really strong and it burnt it, and that's why I got a fucky trip. It wasn't funky. It was a short, weird trip, and I was trying to explain it as it was happening, and I struggled so much, and it went totally sideways. I got totally confused at the beginning. I ended up in this big computer server room, and I saw this big robot there, and the robot started like fucking with me. And I'll explain it more at the end of this video. I'll sort of just let it play out. I don't want to talk over myself, but then again, the audio really sucks because I'm far away from my camera at this point and you can barely hear me. So I'll just try and like explain what I'm saying as we go along. And then at the end, I'll overview it. And then we'll look at my live stream simulation trip. And then at the end, I will talk about simulation theory. By the way, you can go into the time bar and just skip the parts you want. And I wasn't holding them in that long, but like they felt like thick hits. It fucking hit me good. It hit me hard. It didn't hit me good. It hit me bad. It wasn't a scary trip or anything. It was a very confusing, and I was convinced by the end of this, in about 5 minutes, I'm convinced 100% that we live in a simulation. And maybe I still do. Maybe I still do. We'll talk about like my beliefs on that later, like I said. So the beginning was very hazy. I don't remember this part much. There's some funny hallucinations happening. I forget exactly what. My bed turned black for some reason.
Green overlay.
Oh yeah, there was a green overlay, which is a trip I've had before on Chonga. And some of you have related that you've had that as well. And like everything green completely. Like it looked like a Photoshop filter, green. Cranked up the green, turned down the blue and red. Now, like everything's sort of green. Green overlay. And that's why I was just saying there. Everything's green. Don't worry, I won't cut myself off if I'm saying anything important in the video.
Everything's green, okay.
Everything's green. How's my mustache doing? Not bad. This side's kind of... Oh, we're good. We're good, okay. Okay. See, by now I think I'm already in this server room. Looked like a server room. You know in like movies when people are like hacking a building, like in Ocean's 11, they go into the big server room and there's like just aisles of big servers for like massive networks. This was like the universe server room. The simulation. This was running the simulation. And in there I saw this big robot and it was moving around down the aisles like doing work, like updating or fixing the servers or maintaining them or whatever it was doing. And it started doing shit that proved to me we lived in a simulation. Unfortunately, I can't recall that. And I have theories onto why that happens or why it feels like that happens possibly, or I have multiple ideas. And like I said, it was a short trip.
Like there's something telling me how to
There's something telling me how to fix my... Then I trailed off. Yo, what the fuck?
I'm so confused.
I'm so confused. As I go to explain it, as I go to talk about... Oh, I get it. I go to convey it, and it... The information disappears as I'm saying it. What the hell I just said? Or went to turbo silence, keeps putting out my joint.
Sometimes
I'm trying my best to explain it. It's hard to talk on DMT and formulate your ideas into sentences, let alone something that might not even make sense at all. Might be a delusional hallucination. This robot was trying to... I had the answer. I was so stoked on sharing it. And then I go to say it and it disappears.
Yo, what the
But I'm left with this idea that I know there's a simulation. I just forget how I know.
This is so confusing.
Like in my mind, it's 100% proof.
My bed is black for some reason.
Yeah, my bed was black, all black. My eyes were open for most of this trip, but I couldn't see my room at the beginning. I was somewhere else. Some people say you can't break through off carts, or you can't like have extreme trips like that, or intense trips like that. Not saying I necessarily broke through here, but I did black out, which was weird. Which might be an effect of the hyper slap or the overheated hit or something like that. I don't know. I was very tired here too. You can see I look very tired, and this was after a very long stream, I believe. It was like 4 or 5 in the morning or some shit, and that affects it too. But
this robot was like trying to...
I'm still trying to say the same thing over and over. This robot So trying to...
You get everything lined up, otherwise it'll give you like an error or something.
That part I don't understand. I said everything had to line up or else it would give me an error. That was like a fragment of my memory that I had of it, of the whole idea. So it didn't really make sense. I can't make sense of it. It's just like...
And then it gave me a pain.
The best I can do. And then the robot looked at me, and I'll describe what the robot looked like and everything after, but it like pointed at me and like pointed at my sternum, and I felt like a pin-like pain in my chest. And in my video, one of my first DMT videos, I said it went away after I rubbed it for a bit. I don't remember rubbing it though. But in one of my first DMT videos, I pondered if you can hallucinate pain, and I got a lot of comments saying, yes, you can. Extreme pain. Sometimes. And so like I was trying to like be calm when I felt the pain. I'm like, just chill. I don't want this to get more intense. It felt like a needle, getting a needle, but it wasn't as bad as a needle because it wasn't gross. Needles really don't hurt. It just felt like a small tiny pinprick in the middle of my chest. And for some reason, to me, that signified like linking that world to reality, this world, our world, to like the real world.
Green overlay.
So there's green overlay, and then like...
Isn't this like error, like debugging? I can see everything from a distance.
Error debugging screen from a distance.
I came into like this error, like this debug mode.
I was in like a debug mode.
Describe it. And then I got this weird sharp pain.
That's how I could describe it. I got weird sharp pain.
Even after.
It came back to me more later. I was very confused at this point. I was still high.
Because the more I try to explain it, the more I forget it.
The more I try to explain, the more I forget.
It's a built-in.
It's like a built-in function, I'm saying.
Of the simulation. This is...
It seemed to be like a direct inverse relation to my ability to describe the trip and my understanding of the trip. Direct, like a computer program.
When it
like,
all made sense, I couldn't speak. And
when it all made sense, I couldn't speak. And then when I could speak, it didn't make sense. And that's happened to me in many trips. Like I said, I will touch on that in the last chapter of this video.
I'm 100% convinced we are living in a simulation.
I'm 100% convinced we are living in a simulation.
It's a little pain.
It's a little pain.
How can that carry over?
How can that carry over? I was confused. I just thought I was in another world. Or in like a debug menu or like a server room. It looked more like a server room. Later, I realized that was a more apt description than like a debug menu. But it was sort of like, yeah, it looked like, I remember parts that it looked like I was in a server room. And I could see the robot, which looked like, do you guys know Overlords from StarCraft? From Zerg? Hold on.
That was not a good trip. It was not a bad trip. It was very weird.
I said it wasn't a good trip, not a bad trip. It was very weird.
It made sense at the time. At the time, I'm like...
And it made no sense, but at the time it made sense, I'm saying. It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, just weird.
I was
getting frustrated. I wanted to...
It's weird. It was almost like... Every time I just put it into words, I would forget, like, simultaneously, like...
As I went to put it into words...
It's like a built-in function of, like, a program.
I forget simultaneously.
I don't know, it feels like the universe is, like... heavily programmed simulation.
Feels like we're in a heavily programmed simulation.
100% convinced.
I was 100% convinced. That was just like a minute before this. Now I'm already like losing faith in it. It's weird how your beliefs get jerked around like that from one end of the spectrum to the other. Well, not the other. That would be like religious. Whatever I said.
I love you all. Thank you all for
watching. I love you all. Thank you all for
Oh,
watching.
good.
I gave up on trying to explain it.
You know, I'll probably post like a second video
I'll probably post a second
at
video
one point
this
because
video?
Sometimes it takes a few days to unpack. Like, I was just gonna maybe watch my ceiling fan suck itself off, not like fucking go total simulation glitch mode breakthrough. Like, oh, fucking crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah. Went from crazy fun trips
Hopefully I'll be able to explain it more.
to like weird ass trips like this. Like, it's two totally different feelings. It's weird. DMT can be like so different one trip to the next, which is why I really like it and sometimes don't like it. Anyways, I gave up.
Peace out, guys. I hope you have a lovely day. I love all of you.
I was probably still high by that point. When I'm trying to like explain the trip, I like it's sort of like weird filming yourself and trying to report at the same time. I should probably just do the trip and then like not talk at all or think about the camera at all until after, which is something I will probably try in the future. Okay, so that trip was very weird. It seemed really short. It kind of was, but like it was very intense and very short, and I couldn't recall exactly what happened, obviously, but I got the green overlay, and not long after that I ended up in that server room. It looked like a server room. I was just sitting in like the middle of one of the aisles or whatever, and at the end I could see this big robot that looked like a Zerg overlord, but a mechanical one. Like, it had these like tendons like hanging down from it, not tendrils I meant to say, and they were like electronic though, and had like big like yellow robot eyes, and it just looked like this very futuristic floating thing. It was floating down the aisles, and it was like tending to the servers and mechanisms and whatnot, and it looked at me eventually, and it was staring at me, and it like put up like one of its arms. It had like these like pincer like arms, and it was like pointing it at my chest, and I could feel this pinpoint in my chest. And to me, that was like right before I started coming to. And then when I came to, I could still feel it. And it was like, to me, it like felt like that was some way of like linking us from the real world to like the simulation. It was like some sort of mechanism that I don't understand, but that was like what I don't know, I thought it was at the time. I'm not sure why that felt so significant at the time, because like, now just thinking back, maybe it was like you get weird random pains in your body all the time, or DMT can cause weird like physical things sometimes too, or hallucinations, tactile hallucinations and whatnot. So anyways, let's move on to the next video, and then after that I will discuss that video, and then I will get into the nitty-gritty of it.